Ask any adult to close their eyes and think about their childhood. Not to think about a birthday or a holiday, but to think about a feeling, a moment when they felt completely, undeniably seen by a parent, when the world outside didn't exist for a few minutes and it was just the two of them. Some people light up instantly. They can name the moment, the room, what was said. Others search for a long time, and that searching tells its own story. Now ask them what gifts they received that same year. Almost no one can remember. This is not a coincidence, and it's not because children are ungrateful or because the gifts weren't meaningful in the moment. It's because the human brain, especially a child's developing brain, doesn't archive things. It archives feelings. It stores the emotional texture of a childhood, what it felt like to be in your home, to be in your family, to be in a moment alone with you. And yet, if you walked into most homes on a birthday or holiday, you would see enormous energy poured into choosing the right gift, the right cake, the right party, and far less thought given to the one thing a child's memory will actually keep. So, what is that one thing? And more importantly, how do you give it in ordinary moments on ordinary days when there is no occasion at all? To understand what children actually hold on to, you have to understand something about how memory and emotion work together in the developing brain. There's a structure deep in the brain called the amygdala. Think of it as the emotional recording system. It flags experiences and says, "This matters, save it." And the experiences it flags most reliably are not the extravagant ones. They're the ones that produced a strong feeling of being felt by another person. Psychologists call this attunement, and it is, at its core, the experience of someone else tuning into your emotional frequency and meeting you there. When a parent is attuned, a child feels it in their body before they understand it in their mind. It's the difference between a parent who hears, "I'm scared," and says, "You'll be fine," and a parent who hears, "I'm scared," and says, "I know, tell me what's going on inside." One closes the conversation, the other opens a door. And children remember the doors that were opened. What they are really remembering is not the words, it's the feeling underneath them. The feeling of, "I matter here. My inner world is interesting to someone. I am not too much." That feeling, when received consistently, becomes something more than a memory. It becomes an identity. It becomes the quiet voice inside them that says, even on the hardest days of their adult lives, "I am someone worth knowing." This is what attachment researchers call a secure base. Not a perfect parent, not a parent who always says the right thing, but a parent who reliably shows up to the emotional experience of their child, who doesn't flinch, doesn't rush past it, doesn't try to solve it before they've sat in it for a moment. The remarkable thing about a secure base is that it actually makes children less dependent over time, not more. Because when a child knows in their bones that home is a place where they are fully received, they become brave enough to venture further from it. They try harder things. They recover faster from failure. They move through the world with a kind of quiet confidence that has nothing to do with how many trophies are on their shelf. Think about the moments in your child's life that are already happening and that you might be moving through faster than you realize. Your child runs in from school with a story that to you feels minor. A friend said something, a teacher was unfair, a game didn't go the way they wanted. In the grand scheme of your afternoon, the dinner that needs to start, the emails you haven't answered, the younger sibling who also needs something, this story barely registers. So you half listen, you nod, you say, "That's too bad, honey," while your eyes stay on the screen. Or you jump immediately into problem solving. "Well, next time you should just..." And your child's voice gets a little quieter, and they don't quite finish the story, and they wander off to their room. That moment leaves a trace. Not a traumatic trace, not something they'll bring to therapy 20 years from now, but a small, quiet filing away. When I bring my inner world here, no one really comes. And the more that trace is reinforced over hundreds of small moments just like that one, the more a child learns to stop bringing things. They learn to self-contain, to appear fine, to need less, or at least to show less. And then you blink and they're 12, and you ask, "How was your day?" And they say, "Fine." and you wonder why they don't talk to you anymore. They stopped talking because they learned, slowly and without any single dramatic moment, that their daily emotional world wasn't quite interesting enough to interrupt your day for. The accumulation of small moments is the whole story, not the big ones, the thousands of Tuesday afternoons when no one was keeping score. Here's the misunderstanding that trips up even the most loving parents. Most of us believe that showing up for our children means being there, physically present, in the house, driving them places, sitting at their games, providing for their needs. And all of that is real love. None of it should be dismissed. But there's a difference between being present and being available. You can be in the same room as your child and be completely unreachable. And children feel that gap, not as blame, but as a quiet, ambient longing for something they can't name. There's also a habit many parents have that comes entirely from love, and yet quietly undermines connection. It's the habit of fixing. Your child is upset, and you want so badly to make the upset stop because watching your child in pain is one of the hardest things a human being can experience. So you move quickly towards solutions. You minimize, you reframe, you point out the silver lining before they've even described the cloud. What you're really communicating without meaning to is your feelings make me uncomfortable and I'd like to move past them. And so your child learns to do the same thing, to rush past their own feelings, to be fine before they are actually fine, to perform okayness for the people they love most. The most counterintuitive truth in all of parenting is this: sitting with your child's pain without rushing to fix it is not passive. It is one of the most active, loving things you can do, because you are teaching them that emotion has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that they are safe enough to feel all three. So what does this actually look like in a real afternoon with a real child who is real life complicated? It starts with a pause, not a dramatic pause, just a breath-sized one. The next time your child comes to you with something, a frustration, a fear, a story that seems small, before you respond, ask yourself, am I about to listen or am I about to manage? That question alone will change what comes out of your mouth. Then put down what's in your hands. Not forever, just for 2 minutes. There's almost nothing in your day that cannot wait 2 minutes. And 2 minutes of full, undistracted attention, eye contact, body turned toward them, phone face down, sends a signal to your child's nervous system that no gift ever could. It says you are more important than whatever else was happening. Then, instead of asking what happened, which moves towards the facts, try asking how did that feel, which moves towards the person. You are not looking for information, you are looking for them. Let them be in the middle of the feeling for a moment before you move anywhere. You can say, that sounds really hard, or I can understand why that hurt. Or sometimes the most powerful thing you can offer is just, I'm glad you told me. Because you are not just responding to a story, you are teaching them that bringing their stories to you is safe, that it's worth it, that you will still be there at the end of them. When the moment feels right, not rushed, not deflected, but genuinely through, you can move together towards what might help, but the help lands differently when it comes after being heard. It doesn't feel like dismissal dressed up as advice. It feels like care. One more thing, don't wait for your child to come to you. Create the conditions. The car ride where you're both looking forward and not at each other can be a surprisingly open space. Bedtime, when defenses are low and the day is softening. A walk without a destination. These are the pockets where children often say the thing they've been carrying all week, not because you asked directly, but because you made it easy to. Decades from now, your child will be grown. They will have their own life, their own hard days, their own moments when they need to reach for something steady inside themselves. What they reach for will have been built quietly, in a childhood they can only half remember. In the afternoons you put the phone down, in the nights you stayed a little longer at the bedroom door, in the times you said, tell me more, instead of, it'll be okay. In every moment you chose their inner world over your to-do list, not perfectly, not always, but enough. They won't remember the gifts, they may not even remember the specific conversations, but they will carry the feeling. The feeling of having been, at the most formative years of their life, truly and unhurriedly seen by the person that mattered most. That feeling doesn't fade. It doesn't go out of style. It doesn't break or get lost or get replaced by something newer. It becomes the ground they stand on for the rest of their lives. And you are building it right now, in this season, in these ordinary and irreplaceable days. Don't let them pass without reaching into them.